So I've been avoiding this space for 3 years, and today I'm about to share why. I thought the problem was simply too much stuff, and to be fair, there absolutely was too much stuff. But eventually I realized something else was happening. Every category of my life was competing for my attention. Gardening, pet supplies, gift wrapping, household supplies, holiday decor, luggage, memorabilia, everything was visible. Everything was asking for my attention. Everything technically had a place, but nothing felt peaceful. And that's when I realized this garage didn't just need to be organized. It needed to be completely reimagined. Before I could organize a single shelf, I had to make one decision that turned out to be much harder than I expected. Here's what I ended up mapping out. I wasn't just going to tidy up. I was going to go through every single thing in this garage and decide what actually deserved space in my life. And I also wanted to create clear zones in this space that could work for me. I wanted a place for arts. I wanted a place for gardening. I wanted pet supplies to have their own zone, gift wrapping, luggage, and a dedicated space for sell, donate, and shipping, because decluttering doesn't end until things are moved out of the house, and I need a space for that. And probably most importantly, I wanted a place for my home gym where I could actually use it and feel good about being in it. Once I stopped asking, how do I fit more stuff in here, and started asking, what kind of life am I trying to support while I'm living in this townhouse? Once I asked that, everything changed. The plan almost designed itself. So this is what I call the great edit. So I thought this was going to be the easy part. The easy part, I was wrong. This wasn't the first pass at all of the things that are in this garage. I'd already downsized before moving here. I'd already gone through and donated a lot. I'd already organized into rough categories, but real downsizing happens in layers. It's a process. This time, I stopped asking, what can I keep? And I really started asking, what deserves space in my life today? What do I want to bring forward with me into my future? Every pass made that decision so much easier. I was able to sort, categorize, deduplicate, declutter, and then do it again. And eventually the vision became clearer. The decisions became so easy, not because I got better at organizing, but because I became more honest about what I really needed. There were a few things that were hard. I kept telling myself I'd use it someday or I would regret getting rid of it. You know how that goes. Someday rarely arrives. Maybe someone else is waiting for this item. Maybe I can just take a picture of it and remember it instead of holding on to it. I had multiple carloads of donations. And honestly, I can't think of a single thing I regret letting go of. At this point, I thought I was almost finished. But the biggest transformation hadn't even started yet, happened next. If you're like me, trying to create a home and a life that feels a little bit more peaceful and a lot more intentional, I'd love to have you here. Subscribe and join me as we figure it out together, one project at a time. I hired Kristen, a professional organizer who had helped me before, including our move from our larger home. It wasn't that I couldn't do it myself. I'd been trying for 3 years. Sometimes the smartest decision you can make is asking for help.
So you've probably seen Kristen in a lot of the videos. She's my professional organizer. Kristen, can you tell us a little bit about your company and how long you've been doing this?
Yeah, I started in 2020, so about 6 years. COVID happened and I just wanted to be home with my son more, so quit my job and went out on my own.
And so what do people have the hardest time getting rid of?
Sentimental things, and I don't always push for that, but guilt is a big factor in that. Clothes are a big hard one because we wear something on a special day, and we want to keep that forever.
Right, the sentimental memory part.
Yeah.
So what are some of the strategies you give people for dealing with maybe sentimental things that take up a lot of space or that you just don't want to hold on to anymore?
Just questions. If it's really serving you, or if it's possible to take a picture and keep the memory that way.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't always push too much for the sentimental stuff, just because when we're ready, we're ready.
Right.
It'll eventually come. And you know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'll come.
If you could encourage people to do one or two things that would help keep them organized, what would it be?
Your 10-minute reset.
Okay.
Just doing that habitually, because life happens, and life is, we bring in, we take out. So definitely the habits, the 10-minute resets. Start small, just in little places. That way you don't get decision fatigue and
overwhelmed.
Yeah,
because I think like some of the Marie Kondo advice is, empty out your entire closet, make a giant mountain on your bed. Yes. But what if you don't get through it in that night? Now you have nowhere to sleep.
Yes, and in some cases you can do that, and I used to do that, but now it's just one little section at a time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for being part of the crew here, because I definitely couldn't do this all on my own. And Kristen's really great as far as she's got the ability to help me make the decision when I seem stuck, or she's also really helpful in just like the extra pair of hands aspect, because I've mentioned before I have a 3-story place, and so going up and down the stairs over and over again gets to you after a while. So, but well, thank you for joining us. Yes, and we'll keep it on.
Yeah.
Kristen didn't just bring another pair of hands. She brought clarity. When you've looked at the same thing in the same space for years, it's almost impossible to see it objectively anymore. She gave me another perspective, the accountability I needed, and the momentum to finally finish, and that made all the difference. She was body doubling with me. I knew that every time she came over, I would be more energized and motivated to complete another phase of this enormous project. The added benefit of having someone else there to help you is fatigue and overwhelm from carrying things, lifting things, going up and down the stairs. That gets drastically reduced when you have another pair of hands. Additionally, my partner Anthony helped me quite often with reaching, lifting, and putting things up in high places for help. Kristen didn't just bring another pair of hands. She brought clarity. When you've looked at the same thing, she gave me another perspective, the accountability I needed, and the momentum to finally finish, and that made all the difference. I'll also be honest, I didn't do this all by myself. I finally admitted I wasn't going to finish this alone. She was body doubling with me. I knew that every time she came over, I would be more energized and motivated to complete another phase of this enormous project. The shelving I had in this garage really wasn't working. The garage just always felt visually chaotic. It was visual overload for me. And before buying anything, I wanted to do my research. I measured the space carefully. I knew how much space I had, and I also knew that I wanted to invest in some heavy-duty metal shelving. I had been using these Sterilite plastic shelves for years, and this was a case where I was suffering from sunken cost, where I had already invested in these Sterilite shelves and felt like, I already own them. It would be a waste to buy something else, but really I needed something that was going to be more effective. I ended up selling those Sterilite shelves on Facebook Marketplace in a single day. I knew I wanted to invest in heavy-duty metal shelving. I'd had it before and really loved it. And it's something that I can use in this house, and it's portable. I can take it with me wherever I end up next. So while this was a investment, the things that I ended up selling throughout decluttering this entire garage helped to subsidize this investment. The goal wasn't maximum storage, it was to have less friction, less visual noise, less chaos to look at, easier finding of things, less searching and digging to find what I was looking for. Really providing myself and giving me the gift of more time for actually living and doing the things that I want, and less time spent on managing what I have. And once that first wall was complete, I could finally see my vision coming to light. But the shelving wasn't what changed the room. That happened next. So as we built the shelving, we started thinking about how I actually wanted to use this space. What I was thinking about doing is reclaiming this space as livable space, not just a storage place, a storage container. I don't park my car in the garage, so that freed up lots of opportunities. It's taken me a while since my big move to really determine where things belong. A place for everything and everything in its place is an axiom for a reason. And the biggest reason is that it just makes keeping things up so much easier. So it's not just about where things would fit, but where they belonged. This is something so for example, I knew I wanted a place for my arts and crafts and sewing type projects, and I wanted those to live close to my work bench so that it would be within easy reach and easy to do. I also wanted all of my gift wrapping things together. I have enough gift wrap for many years to come. Now, especially that it's all together, I can see what I have. I needed a place for my pet supplies. And in fact, I have pet supplies upstairs in my kitchen area as well as in the garage. Those are things that needed to be consolidated. I do have a section for gardening, although I do not have a garden in this house. I have a balcony, but I do want to have the opportunity to do some planting in my little planters on my balcony or for my front porch. And so this allows me to do that. I also have several house plants that I care for. Having a gardening space is important to me. And then of course, we need a place for my household supplies, cleaning supplies, extra home decor that I can rotate, and an area for sell, donate, and shipping. Every category had to earn its place. The thing that finally made this garage work wasn't the shelving, it was the zoning. For the first time, everything had a home, and everyday life just became a little easier. And it stopped being a garage and started being part of my home. But there's one space I haven't shown you yet. One space I kept dedicated in this garage was a space I knew I needed. It wasn't for storage, it was for myself and my future self. I wanted my home gym to be peaceful, not necessarily like it belongs on Instagram, just somewhere that I could move and feel calm while doing so. I like the convenience of having a gym at home. Since I work from home, it's something where I can fit a workout into my day depending on my schedule, and my schedule changes daily. So this eliminates excuses. I want to become the kind of woman who naturally takes care of herself. This space makes that easier. This area used to just be a collection of forgotten things or of stuff just accumulating and piling up. It was obscuring the gym that lived underneath it. Now this space helps me become stronger. Somehow that feels like a very good ending for the project, but little did I know that this wouldn't end up being my favorite part of the transformation. That comes next. I'm sitting in my cozy little nook that I created yesterday, and I feel calm and serene in a place that I never thought I would. So the organization is finished, but the transformation isn't complete. I want to make this place even warmer, add artwork, more plants, some task lighting, additional bits and bobs around the place to make it feel warm and cozy. I just really want this space to feel inviting and like a part of my home, an extension of my home, not just a garage. So I'm envisioning a reading nook. I'm envisioning a little area where I can do some recording for Lovely Life Plan. I'm also using this now as my gym and workout space. And I wanted to create a space that inspires me to live the life that I have envisioned. And so this aligns me closer to that, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So my goal is to create a space that inspires me to live, create, move, and make beautiful things. So I'm calling my space a Lovely Life Studio. And if you'd like to see what that transformation looks like, I plan to do another video a few months from now after I've had time to be in the space and cozy it up, and I will share those things with you. In the meantime, take care of yourself, take care of your future self, and have a lovely life. Bye.